Well, hello and welcome. I actually took the day off today just to rest to recuperate the beginning of the year. It was a pretty busy and long working end of the year last year. So as soon as I had some fresh PTO in my bank, I took a day off just to chill out and relax. Come and sit down with me. I don't have anything major going on. This won't be that long. Update on what I'm working on right now. And yeah, I want to show you I'm really excited. So, 2024 has come in, and so I think I mentioned during my recap video that during Black Friday, I got some patterns on sale. So I bought some patterns and I got some yarn, which is here, like on this bottom row, and I think there's some off the camera right there. I reorganized yarn. Like I was really amped for starting the new year with just things that I love and enjoy, and I was so excited and ready. Right, 2024 came in. The first thing I casted on was the Arctic Light sweater, and it is an all over, like all over, including the arms, cabled sweater. And when I saw the pattern, I said to myself, you are not patient enough to do this. And that's a very true statement. But I also realized from doing my reflections of last year's knits that lack of patience has been my downfall on quite a few things. Whether it was in blocking, like if you watch, you saw I destroyed some projects because I just wanted to throw it in the dryer, or I threw it in the washing machine, or whatever the case might have been. I could have just waited a few days, but I wanted it now, and so I ended up ruining it in the long run. So lesson learned. So one of the things I really wanted to challenge myself with, because this whole knitting channel and journey for me is not just about knitting and sharing it, but I really want to grow my skills as a knitter, and it's not for any real purpose other than to prove to myself that I can do it. So that was my mission, and that was my thought process coming into the new year. So I picked this sweater as my first project of the year, mainly because of the complexity, but because it's also something that I told myself mentally, this is no rush. If it takes you all year to finish it, then so be it. If it takes you, if you finish it in the summer, that's fine. It'll be ready for the winter. When winter comes around, you can still wear it proudly. So that was my thought process and my goal with this sweater. So when I opened up the pattern, if you saw a reel, I think, was it a reel? I put up a video, a short maybe. It literally is like reading hieroglyphics, because I normally default, if I'm given the choice between the chart and the written, I always go to the written because it's easier. When the truth of the matter is, it's not necessarily harder in a chart, but it does require just a little bit more brain effort than I was willing to put in. And it kind of, again, goes back to upping the skill a little bit and upping the ante when it comes to what type of knitter are you trying to be? Like, do you just want to make basic raglan sweaters, which is nothing wrong with that, but my inner child is like, I want to make all of the things, I want the complicated crisscross patterns and the dresses that have all kinds of things going on, that's what I want. Well, in order to get there, Tiffany, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. So when I picked the sweater and I opened up these charts and I realized there was no written directions, oh boy. So here's the thing. I got my tablet with the pattern on it. Now I was trying to use an app like Row Counter or the Knit and Note app, but it was not functional in the way that I was going to need it to be. Like, these are intensive charts, and I'll put a little flash of the thing up there so you can see. And it's 3 charts for 1 round. So there's an A, B, and a C. A has its own directions, B has its own directions for less rows, and then C has its own directions with different things happening. And there was no way that I was going to be able to print this out, because when I did print it, because that's what she recommended, I couldn't see it. It was, the chart is too big. The letters was like, not the letters, the boxes were this small, and it was just too much. So what I ended up doing was I used my app called Good Notes, because you can mark out on it, you can highlight, you can, you know, reorient the page and all of that stuff. So that's what I did. And then I made sure to print out the symbol chart. That way it has the directions on it and I can have that in front of me. And because these things repeat, ABC, ABC, she did mention in her tutorial, Kika, of Kotova Kika, that you should maybe use different color markers for each section, which when I wrote out my directions on how to follow this chart, I basically wrote out beginning of round marker to yellow is section A, yellow to yellow is section B, yellow to blue is section C, blue to blue is section B. So it does this through the whole thing, right? It probably doesn't make much sense to you because you're hearing it, but if you saw what I was talking about, it would make more sense. But I don't think I could really share it because it's a paid for pattern. So, but just know that when you're making something in a circle, you don't just do it one time. You have 3 sides to this circle essentially. So I got this, and the middle of the back, and then I got the middle of the back plus this and this. So you got to do that twice in a round, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But it was a little overwhelming in the very beginning. I can't even lie. It was like, oh no, who's gonna know you made this goal but you? You can cut this off at any time. But I didn't want to cut it off. I really wanted to do it. So yeah, so here is a little bit of progress. So the yarn that I'm using is a Premier DK. It's a basic acrylic, and it's one of my favorite type of acrylic yarns because it works. So it has a neck band, all twisted rib, that when I'm finished or at some point I need to sew it down. The interesting thing is I really like it the way that it is, so I may not sew it in on itself like that, like a folded neckband. I may just leave it as a turtleneck. I don't see why not, you know. But this is what the neckband looks like. And then look at my cables. Yep, y'all, I am sticking to the course. These are cables going all the way around this bad boy, and they're very intricate, and there are twisted rib through the whole thing. So when I was saying that there's a panel for everything, like this marker to this marker is one section, this marker to this marker is another section, this marker to the next marker is the last section, etc., etc. You see what I mean? So it's extremely detailed, but it feels so good to, let me see if I can. I don't want to lose my stitches because Lord. Anyway, but this is what it's looking like. I believe this goes over here so that this big cable is in the front, and then the rest goes around. So no, I'm not in an actual try it on phase, but when I did, that's when I realized I don't think I mind the turtleneck too much. She wanted, or the way the pattern is written, it tucks down and in. So I guess it's pretty much the same, you know. But I don't mind just rolling it down. It'll be fine. I like it just like that. But yeah. And it's in one of my favorite colors. Yes, pink is my ultimate favorite knitting color, but blue is my favorite color overall as well. So it's so detailed and so pretty. And yes, I've already made a mistake or two. But I've made them in a place where you can't really tell. And overall, with a pattern that is an all over cable thing, who's going to really know that I purled instead of knit through the back loop? Like, it's not going to really make a big difference. Because the truth is, I can't find where I made the mistake. I know that I did, and I meant to go back and fix it, but I didn't. And now I don't know where it is, so I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, so progress is being made, and I can't wait to keep you updated on some of the things. Like the next update I do will probably be when I get to split for sleeves on this thing. As always on camera, this is a little bit more bluer on camera. If you wash it out just a little bit, it's kind of a little bit more real. You know, just ash it out a little. But it's still one of my favorite colors. And this yarn, I gotta tell you, like I was working on wool the last couple of projects, like a wool blend. So it feels really different to go from a wool to an acrylic. But after I kind of got working with it, I remembered why I like this brand so much. Not necessarily the brand, well, yeah, the brand, but it just feels good. And to know that I can wash it and dry it and not worry about it felting or anything else is like 100% plus in my book. So yeah, I am gonna let that go for now. We will talk about other things when they come up, but as of right now, that is all that I'm working on. Oh, outside of, my husband asked me to make a shawl for his best friend's grandmother. She's 90 or 91, and he was asking me if I could make her something because she's been talking about just being cold these last couple of weeks. And even though they could buy her a blanket, of course he runs to his wife who makes things and asks if I could make her something. I said of course. So I'm working on like a little triangular garter stitch shawl, and I think that'll be it. I want to try to hurry up and finish it for her because I would like her to have it during the cold months, but no pressure either way. So that's it. Just a quick short update on the things that we're working on. Sylvia has made an appearance, so we're gonna get off of here. Maybe we'll have a video without her talking. But I hope you have a great Monday. Bye. Oh no, she's talking. Okay, well, I tried. Yes.